Yo, guys, what is up? Welcome back. Today we're going to react to the streamer who went from 165k to 50 viewers. And this is about the streamer Myth, of course, who was very popular during the heyday of Fortnite. And I am watching this because I am genuinely curious. I remember Myth being very popular. I remember going to school every single day during like 2017, 2018, and people were like, you know, debating whether Myth or Ninja was the better player, or like that was just the thing back then. So it is very strange to see his fall, and maybe there's some reasons for it that I don't know about, which is why I figured it'd be fun to react to this. The creator and the video will be linked in the description, as well as another channel I'm part of called Break Time. So feel free to check out those things below. But let's get into this.
New average of 37,000 live viewers.
Myth was go back a few seconds.
In 2018, at just 19 years old, Myth would become the second most followed streamer on Twitch. In 10 months, he went from a small streamer averaging 50 viewers to becoming one of the biggest creators in the world, with a new average of 37,000 live viewers. Myth was an early adopter of Fortnite Battle Royale, and had become regarded as the best player in the world alongside Ninja.
Exactly. I'm also eating some bakery
He rapidly
cookies.
gained millions of followers across his various social media platforms, and was averaging over 1 million views per video on his YouTube channel. But 5 years later, in 2023, things have changed. A lot. Myth has been consistently losing subscribers for 2 years, rapidly losing followers on Twitch, Instagram and Twitter, and can often be seen streaming to under 100 people, a number perhaps hard to fathom considering where he once was. So what happened? How did Myth go from the second biggest streamer in the world to this? Well, let me explain by taking you back to the start, where it all began.
Yeah, it doesn't really
Myth's
make
online
sense.
presence can be traced back to November 2013, when he would create his current YouTube channel at the age of 14. As with most gaming creators at the time, he would begin by posting low-quality Minecraft and Call of Duty videos. However, his content would see huge improvements over the next few years, and by 2016, Myth began streaming on Twitch and uploading the highlights to his YouTube.
I feel like that is how it always went back then too. Literally it is just the old crappy Minecraft or Call of Duty commentaries. Almost all of my older favorite YouTubers have that as their older videos.
YouTube channel. Around this period, streaming was far less normalized, and was a laughable career option in the eyes of the mainstream. But despite this, Myth had set his sights on becoming a successful streamer, and was putting in a serious amount of time and effort at an incredible consistency, streaming almost every single day, often for over 5 hours straight, all while still attending high school and working at a coffee shop.
Damn.
This hard work would pay off quickly, and by November 2016, he was streaming to an average audience of 50 live viewers. During this period, Myth's streams were focused almost entirely around one game, Paragon. Despite there being a vast plethora of games with far higher viewership potential on YouTube and Twitch, Myth would continue to dedicate himself to Paragon, and for the next 10 months,
I don't even think I've ever heard of
played
this game
nothing
before.
but this game on his streams. However, his loyalty to Paragon would prove to reap little rewards in terms of growth, as by mid-2017, Myth was still averaging around the same viewers as the year before. Things were starting to look less optimistic for the young streamer. That was until September 2017, when Myth would make a decision that would change his life forever, when he would finally take a chance on a game other than Paragon, and turned his attention to a new release slowly gaining traction in the gaming community: Fortnite Battle Royale.
Getting 8 ads every 20 minutes is actually diabolical.
It is diabolical. Ads are messed up. What can I say? What can I say?
To that of PUBG and H1Z1, two Battle Royale games that were extremely popular and topping the charts on Twitch at the time. However, Fortnite gave a fresh take on the genre, moving away from what could be considered a mature art style and gameplay to a more wholesome aesthetic with bright colors.
Fortnite was just a different vibe when it came out. It just, it was almost like relaxing.
Dancing.
You just hop in this colorful world and shoot people and build.
Quick to write the game off, seeing it as a movie pub.
Speaking of, Ali A actually was, since it's showing his face there, Ali A was actually the first person that I ever saw play Fortnite. I watched his video because I used to watch Allier because he used to upload Call of Duty and stuff. So I watched him for Call of Duty, and then he started posting Fortnite, and I was like, well, shit, if he's switching to Fortnite, maybe I should switch to Fortnite. And yeah, I was into Fortnite for a good couple of years, like 2017 to 2019. I would say that was like the peak Fortnite era. I mean, it's still massive today, which is cool, but not really something I concern myself with playing too often these days. But it is nice to reminisce.
PUBG knockoff made for kids, and with the game being free to play, it cast doubt on the quality of the product. After all, in 2017, it was extremely rare for a free game to have any long-term substance or success. But whilst the vast majority of streamers and players were sleeping on Fortnite, Myth was there on day one of release and streaming the game to his audience. And after his first Fortnite stream on 12th of September 2017, he would continue to play and stream Fortnite for many hours every single day. And let's just say being an early adopter and believer in the game would prove to be a stroke of genius. Myth was putting in far more hours than 99.9% of players, consistently streaming over 8 hours every day, and would quickly become one of the highest skilled players on Fortnite. Whilst it would take most players weeks, if not months, to get just one single win on the game, after only 5 days of playing, Myth had won an absurd 22 games. A feat so impressive that even the official Fortnite Twitter page took notice and would shout out his Twitch
incredible.
stream. For context,
I played for years before I finally started getting wins.
Task, with 100 players competing in each game to become the last man standing, in a world where one single shotgun bullet or sniper shot can defeat you, there was a lot of room for failure. A win on the game was in fact so special at the time that players would post pictures to their social media accounts, flexing the now iconic Victory Royale screen. Getting just one win was an achievement, but Myth was making it look like a walk in the park. And only one day after his shoutout from Fortnite, Myth had increased his win count by 8, reaching 30 Victory Royales. The same day, Myth would begin uploading highlights of his gameplay to YouTube, including a video of him dropping 20 kills in one single game. This level of skill was incomprehensible. Most players would be lucky to get 1 kill. Meanwhile, Myth
He was very incredible at the game. I have to give him that.
Of the lobby himself. It was beginning to look like Myth could actually be the best Fortnite player in the world. However, at this time, Fortnite was still yet to gain considerable traction and popularity, which was reflected in Myth's streaming stats.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna make another tab just because I'm curious. I want to look at when Ali A uploaded his first Fortnite video because I started playing Fortnite that day. And I wonder how early that actually was in the Fortnite life cycle. Allier Fortnite first game. 1,000 videos? He's done 1,000 Fortnite videos? Jesus H. Christ. Oh my god. So I believe this is my first. This would be the first right here. I'm just clicking in on this out of pure curiosity, of course. Okay.
See you later. Nice! Holy mother! Oh my god, it's a trap.
Dude, I remember this shit, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am
Okay,
fine.
I realize how cringe it is that I used to watch Allier, but it's still nostalgic for me. Like I still go back and watch like these old. Wait, hold on. I still need to look at the date. What's the date? October 8th, 2017. So yeah, that sounds about right. That was around, I would say, about my first month of 7th grade or so was done. So it was still pretty early into school. I remember that. And yeah, I don't think I remember that many people talking about it right away at school. I would say it definitely took a little while. Like I'd been playing it for probably a month, I want to say, before everybody started talking about it. And I'm just gonna look at this one little thing here. One little thing. Stop, Allier, stop it. I hate like trying to do stuff with this like little touchpad thing. It seems kind of useless. There we go. These videos right here. These old Call of Duty videos. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say this this buried video was the first one I ever saw from Allier back in the day. But back to the main attraction here.
As despite
Apologize
his
for that
elite level
detour.
of gameplay, his stream would see a fairly little amount of growth after his transition away from Paragon, and he was still averaging around 50 to 75 concurrent viewers per stream. That was until November, when with a stroke of luck and random chance, Myth would end up in the same Fortnite game as one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, Summit1G. With no idea he was coming up against one of the biggest streamers in the world, who was streaming live to over 15,000 people, Myth would aggressively approach, outbuild, and outplay Summit. This was not normal, and people were taking notice. Soon after the game, Myth would upload a clip of him outplaying Summit to YouTube, and it would quickly become his most viewed video yet. Viewers were in awe at Myth's ability, especially that of his building skill, and with him topping the leaderboards as the player with the most solo PC
Yeah,
wins,
building was tough
Myth
to
was
get
certainly making
good
a name
at for me back
himself
then.
amongst the small Fortnite community. And following the video where he would destroy Summit, Myth would upload a series of building tutorials, which would perform far greater than the rest of his YouTube content. There was no doubt in the community that Myth was the best builder in the game, and considering that Fortnite's unique selling point was building,
I gotta say, I actually respect him for giving tutorials. If I was doing better than everybody at a game, I'd be like, man, I'm keeping all this shit to myself.
For the month of November 2017, he would average 179 concurrent viewers per stream, double that of the last month. The following month of December was when Fortnite really started to pick up pace in terms of popularity.
that sounds
And
about
thanks to
right.
his prolonged commitment to the game, his stream would begin to blow up. December 1st, 142 live.
Every time, it just, I don't know what it is, but there was just something so, like, magical about this beginning of Fortnite. The first couple of years were just so, like, exciting. I don't know, it was like you were always excited about, like, the new weapons and different updates. You always found a way to make it interesting. I do think past Season 6, I stopped playing, I think it was Season 10 in Chapter 1, was when I stopped playing, like, every day. I have hopped on from time to time to try out the new chapters, or, like, when they did the Fortnite OG thing, but it's never really come close to capturing that same, like, almost magical kind of feeling that it had when it first came out.
Average viewers. December 2nd, 332 viewers. Myth had doubled his average viewers in just one day, but things would get even better when once again, Myth would find himself in a Fortnite lobby with Summit. And when
No.
the two players would eventually encounter one another, they would have a 1v1 battle that would go down in Fortnite history. Summit would notice a base at the top of a hill. Little did he know Myth was the one waiting inside. Summit then decides to aggressively build upwards towards the base, ready to engage. But instead of Myth sitting idly like the majority of players would, he starts building at incredible speed.
What the f? See, he keeps building higher. Stop building so high!
I remember watching this.
Is this guy a... What? What's happening? What just happened?
See, Myth always looked so fucking laser focused.
He built the... He kept building up and building up and building up, and I couldn't catch him. 1,400! How did that man shotgun me down beneath like that? Did you see that?
Fight Summit. I like that.
I've never seen that strategy used. I've never seen that strategy. You can tell he's a good player. I've never seen that strategy used where when someone's trying to get into your base, you just keep building up, keep building up, keep building up. That was impressive. Not gonna lie.
For the second time, Myth had completely outplayed one of the biggest streamers in the world. This kind of building gameplay was not normal, and of all the thousands of viewers in Summit's stream who
Yeah, I mean,
witnessed
even
the fight,
Ninja, like one of the
same
top
question
dogs, was never
likely
building like
going
that.
through their minds.
Ninja's skill was more in the
Who is
gunplay
this Myth
aspect of
guy,
things.
and how is he so good at the game?
But
And it was no
I will say, when it comes to Fortnite players, I don't think anybody ever came close to Tfue. Tfue was so good, like, for no reason. Like, literally, I remember in study hall, during the Fortnite era, like 7th, 8th grade, when in the beginning I was watching like Ninja, like every study hall, and then eventually Tfue started popping off, and I was really just watching Tfue highlights like every single day. I was like, this man is so freaking good. Like, it was just like mesmerizing to watch.
Coincidence that soon after this moment, Myth's stream would begin to grow even faster. December 16th, 570 viewers. December 24th, 1,000 viewers. December 26th,
Fuck, streaming for that
2,000
long every
viewers.
day.
December
Oh my God.
28th,
I would go
3,000
nuts.
live average viewers.
I'm
Myth had
definitely more of a
multiplied his viewers
recorder
over
than a streamer.
20x in the space of 1 month. And whilst many streamers would slow down on streaming over the holidays, he was grinding an average of 10 hours every day.
Gosh, I remember I always wanted that fucking
As
Skull
Myth's Twitch
Trooper
was
skin.
skyrocketing to
I
huge
actually,
heights, more fuel would be
for my pretty much whole Fortnite life cycle, until I got a job anyways, I never really bought skins. All I would ever get was the battle pass. I was like, alright, at least if I get the battle pass, that's really cheap, and I'll have some skins, and I won't be such a lame-o. But to me, I felt like the skin prices were just astronomical. I was like, $20 for one skin? That seems ridiculous.
would be added to the
But there were
fire.
some cool
When a
ones I
random viewer
bought
would post a
down the
clip
line,
from
like
Myth's
the
stream,
Spider-Man one
that
and
would take
stuff.
the internet by storm. The video was titled "Insane Build Fight, I'm the Myth," and would quickly go viral, gaining over 1 million views. In the clip, Myth could be seen
Yeah, it's
in
not
an
even
intense
Myth's channel,
gun battle
wow.
against another player, a fight that he would go on to win. And whilst in hindsight this gameplay may look underwhelming to the average Fortnite player in 2023, at the time, this kind of building was exceptional and was incomprehensible to the average player who had started playing the game over the holidays. Ending the month with 34,000 followers gained on Twitch and 21,000 more subscribers on YouTube.
I'm trying to
Myth
think. I personally have been trying my hand at doing YouTube for the longest time, trying many different channels, and I only ever had one channel hit 1,000 subscribers. And I think the most viewed video I ever did it was a little over 7,000 views, which, I mean, is cool, but when you see these people doing these kind of numbers, it makes you just like, okay, there's definitely some room for improvement that I've got to be doing.
Myth's rise to fame was in fact only just getting started. And on the 10th of January 2018, he would sign a professional contract with the esports organisation TSM, bringing a new level of respect to his name and, of course, more eyes to his stream.
That's right,
On January
TSM.
15th,
I always remember
he would post
TSM
one of his
Myth.
most viral videos yet.
That's the name
where
I
he would
remember.
get 27 kills in one game, which would quickly amass over 2 million views.
It's a nice
But it was
game.
no coincidence that in the week following this upload,
Pretty sure the most kills I ever got in a game was 26, but that was much later in the Fortnite cycle when they implemented adding like bots and stuff, so it was a lot easier to get like a 20 kill game. Whereas back in the day, getting a 20 kill game, I mean, I never even came close. I never even got a 10 kill game back in the day. I had like some 5 kill games and some like 7 kill games, but man, the skill gap back in the day for Fortnite I was just not very good compared to a lot of players.
7,000. The growth was starting to get even faster.
I still
and
can't
by this
believe
point,
Fortnite's
Myth was
already almost
gaining
10 years
around
old.
10,000 followers per day on Twitch. In the space of a few months, he'd gone from being completely unknown and making presumably very little money from streaming to becoming one of the most viewed streamers on the site, and undoubtedly making thousands of dollars per day from his stream, YouTube channel, and brand deals. Alongside this, Myth would reach 1,000 wins on Fortnite, and every one of his YouTube videos were consistently getting hundreds of thousands of views.
1,000
But it
wins?
got
Oh my
even better.
God. That's like a lot of fucking wins. Holy
In
cow.
February 2018, TSM would announce their official competitive Fortnite team, a squad consisting of Myth and 3 other upcoming pro players.
Daquan was really good with the fucking double pump.
They quickly became the most
think-
lethal squad in the
I can't remember Camels, but I do remember Hamlin's and Daquan. I remember Daquan was like really fucking insane with the double pump, and he was really funny. I remember Hamlin's being pretty funny too, if I remember correctly.
game and would destroy every lobby they played in. And let's just say, the viewers loved it.
These four rolling together is a death
to
spot.
transcend the gaming community, and the rapid growth of the game was starting to gain considerable mainstream media attention. At the forefront of this hysteria was the streamer Ninja, who was also seeing an unprecedented level of growth alongside the Fortnite boom, rapidly becoming by far the most subscribed streamer on Twitch and the
Yeah.
face of Fortnite.
Ninja was
People would often debate
so
who the
huge.
best player in the world was, and more often than not, the debate
I will
was
say I feel like Ninja. I feel like he didn't really deserve his downfall popularity-wise, but that might just be me.
between two players, Myth or Ninja. With that being said, the two of them saw an opportunity for more viral content and would collaborate at the end of February.
I think the
playing
main
duos together.
problem is that some of these creators, their popularity was just so tied to the boom of Fortnite, and I think that's why, even though Fortnite is still, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest game player count-wise as of today, I feel like YouTube content-wise, it's just not as viral as it used to be.
It was a magnificent spectacle
just content-wise
for
in
the community.
general.
And following the stream, Myth would upload one of their games to his YouTube channel, becoming his
fucking
most viewed
dorky
video
ass
ever,
thumbnails were so
quickly
fucking-
reaching
those were
over
so of the
5
time.
million views. Myth's growth was getting outrageous at this point, and by the end of February, he was the third most sub streamer on Twitch, and doubled his average concurrent
more
viewer
subs than
counts from the
Shroud,
previous
that's
month
fucking crazy.
to 11,000 average viewers, all whilst getting
Shroud was going
400,000
crazy on PUBG.
new followers. But it didn't stop there. Myth would take note of the success from his collaboration with Ninja, and a couple weeks later, would begin playing duos with one of the most popular streamers in the world,
Pokimane.
Pokimane. This collab would prove to bring
Pokimane,
even more
Pokimane.
attention to Myth's
I don't-
streams,
does anybody
with
like
multiple
Pokimane?
viral fan-made videos uploaded to YouTube, 4.7 million, 5.9 million, 11 million views. However, Myth didn't solely rely on collaborations to continue his growth, and was still focused on his gameplay, proven by another
I don't know.
viral
I've
video
never found
posted to his
Pokimane to be
YouTube,
very entertaining
showcasing
myself.
a 39 kill solo versus squad match.
39? What
For the
the
month of
fuck?
March 2018, Myth would once again double his Twitch viewers, consistently pulling over
Gaining
20,000
799,000
per
followers.
stream.
That's
On
incredible.
top of this, he would gain a jaw-dropping 800,000 followers, in the process of which he would break over 1 million overall followers on his Twitch channel.
Yeah, we hit 1 million in Twitch followers. I told myself I wouldn't cry, dude.
No, you're never
Myth
supposed to
seemed
cry, bro. You're never supposed to
unstoppable
cry.
At this point. In the space
No.
of only 4 months, he had gone from being relatively unknown on Twitch and YouTube to becoming one of the biggest and fastest growing creators of all time. Things just seemed to get better and better for Myth at this point. But that was until April 2018 came around,
Right.
when Myth was
Oh, I
invited to a
remember
Fortnite
this.
tournament.
Actually, I remember this conversation even back then. That, like Myth went I do remember this now. Myth went from being so respected, and as soon as he got put in this scenario with all these pros, I think I remember him performing very poorly. Actually, I remember watching these live at school. Actually, to me back then, this was such a big deal because it was the first Fortnite tournament, at least I can recall. So it was just monumental watching this, and literally every single period I was trying to catch up with these lives, just seeing what was happening.
Tournament hosted by Ninja at the esports arena in Las Vegas, and with huge amounts of pressure and expectation on his shoulders to perform against other players, this event would prove to be the first pitfall in Myth's career thus far.
I can see it right now. He's already coming up with an excuse. How do I tell everyone that I fell off the map? What do I do? How do I let everyone know that I didn't get that many kills and I fell off?
While Smith had been growing at an unprecedented speed, Ninja was a different animal, and having recently smashed a record for the most subscribed streamer of all time, who better to host the first ever in-person Fortnite tournament than him? Ninja and Myth were essentially the two biggest names on Twitch and in Fortnite at this point, and with them both being seen as the two best players in the game, viewers were dying for the opportunity to see the two officially face off against each other in a game of Fortnite. with Fortnite fans seeing this as an opportunity to finally settle the debate amongst the community as to which of the two players was the best in the world. Naturally, this created a huge anticipation, and viewers were edged on their seat, expecting Ninja and Myth to partake in gun battles and build fights at magnitudes that had never been seen before. The event came around and the stage was set, and it wasn't long before 680,000 live viewers came flooding to Ninja's live stream of the event, thus breaking the record for the most concurrent viewers of all time on Twitch. All eyes were on Myth and Ninja.
Myth, a very, very popular player, crazy big on Twitch. These two going against each other, is there anything else you can think of in Fortnite that might make you a little...
This is the absolute biggest thing.
You guys, besides Ninja, I think tonight the one guy everybody's been waiting to see play is TSM Myth over here. Can I hear it in the house? How many of you guys are here waiting for Myth to do some domination tonight?
Gosh, they're all so hyped for him. They all have so much faith.
To destroy Ninja.
I feel really, really confident in my ability to do that task.
Out of these next 3 games, how many do you think you're
that did
gonna
not sound confident.
Minimum 2. Like, I want to win minimum 2 games and go for the 2 for. But I think I could definitely get 1.
With expectations of Myth already extremely high, and comments of confidence during his pre-game interview, everyone was expecting to see incredible gameplay.
It was so wrong. It was so wrong.
Unfortunately, the event would prove to be a complete disaster for Myth, and painfully anticlimactic for the audience, as Myth would put on an extremely disappointing performance, dying very early on in 2 games, and awkwardly falling to his death during a build battle in another.
Now, I don't know if you know, but Myth fell off the side of the mountain.
Yeah, he fell and died.
People with broken ankles, you know what I'm saying? I can see it right now. He's already coming up with an excuse. How do I tell everyone that I fell off the map? Like, what do I do? How do I let everyone know that I didn't get that many kills and I fell off?
Let's talk about what happened in this game.
I was gonna play the high ground early, and then. But yeah, so we got into a little skirmish, and then off the side of the hill, I encountered one of the rarest bugs in the game, which is when you make an edit or build something, it will just fling you off. And so that happened, and it was really unfortunate.
Despite the anticlimactic nature of the Las Vegas tournament, one poor performance wasn't going to be enough for Myth to completely lose his status in the community. In fact, he continued to grow at speed, and in the month of April would average 35,000 viewers, whilst gaining 700,000 followers, topping it all off by averaging 1 million views per upload on his YouTube channel.
That is
in May
fucking
2018,
insane.
Myth would move into the new TSM house. He was now under the same roof as his fellow Fortnite teammates, Hamlins and Daquan, and it would seem the failures of Las Vegas had been quickly forgotten, with Myth ending the month of May with his new personal best of 37,000 average concurrent viewers, a feat only ever achieved by an extremely small number of streamers. But as is often the case with creators, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and this month would prove to be the peak of Myth's streaming career in terms of viewership.
Wow, yeah, it went
And in
down
the
pretty
months
fast
following,
after that, huh?
cracks would slowly begin to show.
Love games, but hate the grind? With Wiimod, you can be invincible.
Love games, but hate the grind, so just make them boring by cheating.
And it's completely free.
That's the one thing I learned early on in life, is that video games, even though they may seem difficult, they're always going to be more fun grinding them than cheating. Cheating will give you 30 minutes of enjoyment before you're like, alright, well I just ruined this whole experience for
Following his
myself.
lackluster performance at Las Vegas, and the continuing emergence of new star players, people in the Fortnite community were beginning to ask questions in regards to the skill of Myth. Was he really as good as everyone thought? Fortnite was no longer an underground game, and most players had spent at least a couple months playing at this point. Thus, the skill gap was beginning to close fast. Whilst a few months prior, the average player base had no comprehension of how to build and struggled to even get a single win, players were now beginning to catch up to the skill and knowledge held by the early adopters of the game, such as Myth. Long gone were the days where Myth would consistently run into players who had considerably less knowledge of the game than himself that he could easily outplay, and people were taking notice. A post was made on the 3rd of June 2018 titled, "Is TSM Myth the most overrated player on Fortnite?" With one Redditor commenting, "He was the first to master building super quickly, and was the best builder in the game for a while, until everyone caught up. People just remember when he used to be amazing. But it wasn't just this post. Just a week later, another viewer of Myths would write, "Is TSM Myth really good enough for a pro team? The 17% win percentage and a 4.72 KD this season is just not good enough for competitive play. But he's somehow the team leader for one of the biggest teams within Fortnite?" Whilst the 17% win rate
Yeah, I guess that doesn't really add up, does it?
was far greater than what the vast majority of players could hold. It was nowhere near good enough for someone to be labelled as the best in the world. But how could Myth's skill level fall so drastically, so quickly? Well, as proven by Myth and Ninja, being the best Fortnite players in the world came with unfathomable riches. Thus, the competition when competing at the highest level got more and more competitive. And of course, with an ever-growing player base, it was only natural more competition was going to arise. For the first time, viewers' eyes were straying from Ninja, Myth, and onto
really
other
good.
emerging new players who were starting to show talent arguably far greater than Myth and Ninja ever displayed.
Yeah,
Whilst
that's
Myth had the
pretty
occasion-
much exactly what happened too. Is eventually bigger, better players came out, and Myth and Ninja were kind of left in the dust, skill-wise.
Nor comedic moments in his content and a likable personality. There was no denying that the main reason people came to watch his stream was because of his gameplay. People wanted to see the best Fortnite player in the world. And whilst this demand was fruitful, when Myth was regarded as the best in the game, there was always the risk that if he were to fall down the ranks, his viewership would be in huge trouble. Other players were playing better than him, getting more kills, building faster, winning more games. Myth could no longer provide the best gameplay available for viewers to consume, so naturally, his audience would slowly lose interest. Myth's build battles from just a few months prior that were jaw-dropping were no longer even remotely impressive. And with the addition of turbo building to the game, an update which gave controller players far greater capabilities when building, more and more players were able to build at a level that previously made Myth go viral.
The amount of
Myth
times
would
I've seen
slowly
that
begin to lose his
clip
status amongst
specifically.
the Fortnite competitive community, and for the first time since bursting onto the scene in late 2018, Myth would see a decrease in his average viewers on Twitch, averaging 29,000 concurrent viewers and gaining 518,000 new followers. The fact that these numbers could be considered a down month just goes to show how astronomical Myth's success was. But as Myth's viewers were slowly decreasing, there was another player whose followers and viewers were shooting up at intense speed.
Here we go.
Tfue. Whilst previously the debate was always whether Myth or Ninja was the best player in the world, Myth wasn't performing at a high enough level anymore and was no longer in the conversation for the best player in the world. Thus, Tfue would replace him as the new rival to Ninja. Seeing this shift in attention, on July 3rd, Myth would take advantage of what could be considered a negative and collaborate with Tfue, a collaboration that would go on to be his biggest video of all time. The video consisted of the two battling in a new game mode released on Fortnite called Playground Mode.
That's right.
A mode that would turn out to be one of the most impactful updates that would ever grace the game. The mode allowed players to create their own private lobbies, where they could play with unlimited building resources. Prior to this update, if a player wanted to practice their building, they would have to spend huge amounts of time in an actual public game farming materials, and they were always at the risk of being killed. Now all of a sudden, players could spam builds for hours on end. This feature would see a dramatic increase in the skill level of the most dedicated players to the game, which naturally created more and more competition for Myth and the wider player base. However, Myth was still a force to be reckoned with, proven by a video released to his YouTube channel on July 29th that amassed 7 million views. Along with this, Myth had managed to slow the decline of his Twitch channel, with him averaging around the same concurrent viewers as the month prior, and would actually have an increase in followers gained, adding another 580,000 to his Twitch follower account.
His follow
With
wasn't
this
so
large addition of
drastic
new
right away.
followers, a week later, Myth would become the second most followed streamer on Twitch of all time. And in this month of August, for the first time in a while, Myth would begin to take interest in other games than Fortnite, and would stream and upload content of him playing Rainbow Six Siege to his YouTube and Twitch. This was definitely a gamble, considering Myth's audience had almost entirely come from his Fortnite streams. However, the video would perform well on his YouTube channel, amassing over 1 million views. Perhaps Smith saw the writing on the wall in terms of the longevity of his Fortnite career. Considering an increase in competition, maybe his new growth strategy would be to become a variety streamer. but it's hard to tell considering the video was in fact sponsored. Perhaps Myth was just securing a bag for a couple of days before returning to Fortnite. But it didn't seem like a one-off, as once again, Myth would show his intent to play games other than Fortnite, and would stream and upload content on Battlefield 5. However, this was also sponsored. Interestingly, the Battlefield 5 content would not be as well received as his Rainbow Six gameplay, with the video posted to his YouTube getting just 240,000 views, which was a large decrease in viewership compared to his Fortnite content. And on Twitch, it was much worse, as his Battlefield
I don't think I remember hearing very good
only
things about
getting a max
Battlefield
viewer
5.
count of 6,000, which was a huge drop compared to his Fortnite streams. Whilst expected, it wasn't exactly a good sign if Myth had long-term aspirations of playing other games on stream than Fortnite. With that said, Myth would end the month of August once again in decline, and whilst the month prior he managed to maintain his 28,000 average concurrent viewers, in August that number would fall to 19,000. If this were a normal situation, that would of course be a super impressive number. However, in the context of Myth, he had managed to lose practically 50% of his Twitch average audience in just 3 months, and all of a sudden, the graph of his growth was stooping down menacingly. But it got worse, as just 1 month later, in September 2018, Myth's average viewers had been cut in half once again, from 19,000 average viewers to 10,000, and people were taking notice.
Yeah, that's
and on
a pretty
the 20th
massive
of
dip
September,
there.
a somewhat infamous creator known as Exility would post a video to his channel titled "The Mistake That Cost Myth His Career." In the video, he would discuss the sharp decline in Myth's viewership and followers, citing the failures of the Las Vegas event, the emergence of new players such as Tfue, and Myth playing games other than Fortnite, all as to reasons as why he thinks Myth is on the decline.
Yeah, personally, the thing is like, if you build your audience massively off of just one thing, and you want to start doing other things, what you do is you just make a second account to start doing those other things, so that it doesn't kill your audience away. But, you know, a lot of people don't learn that until it is too late, unfortunately. Okay, obviously you guys wouldn't know, but I just took a brief intermission to work on some donuts here, but we're back with the video.
If you would have told me that Myth would start streaming games other than Fortnite anytime soon, I probably never would have believed you. But I think in the long run, making sponsored videos and doing sponsored streams for games that aren't Fortnite could hurt him. If you're known for something, whether it's a game or a style of video, and then you totally change it up, not as many people are going to be drawn in. So taking his social media presence down the path of variety gaming could be very dangerous for him.
All of a sudden, Myth's declining statistics were brought to the forefront of people's minds, as this video would go on to gain an extreme amount of attention with over 8 million views.
Yeah,
And
that
viewers
video was
began to
pretty
leave
big. I
their
remember
own
watching it
opinions
back
in the
then.
Comments. It's simple, his career was based on Fortnite.
Like I just
Myth's
said.
career didn't stick the landing.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Do you need a free, easy way to capture your gameplay?
Oh my gosh,
Introducing
why is that
Outplay.
so funny?
Record anything on your PC.
Why is that so
Highlight
funny?
reels. Let's play set.
Around this time, Myth decided to landing.
That's like such a fucking devious comment.
Around this time, Myth
Oh my
decided to
goodness.
try a new style of content on his YouTube channel and would release his first vlog. And it was a hit, with 6 million views vastly eclipsing his other gaming content at the time, a trend that would continue for his following vlog releases that month. This was a huge win for Myth. It's not uncommon for content creators to be carried by the games that they play, but Myth was showing that his audience were actually more interested in him and his personality than that of his Fortnite gameplay, which would have been a huge relief, I'm sure, considering his recent decline on Twitch. However, despite Myth's YouTube channel picking up once again, the same couldn't be said for his stream. Perhaps taking note of Exility's criticism, Myth had gone back to streaming almost entirely Fortnite, and only occasionally would play other games on stream. However, it wasn't exactly working out well, as despite devoting himself to Fortnite, Myth's viewers would start to fall sharply once again, and by mid-2019, he was now averaging
Yikes.
under 5,000 viewers per stream.
I mean, that was
Whilst
around the
this
time
would
I
still
quit
make
playing
Myth one of the
Fortnite
biggest
myself,
streamers
so-
on the platform, and most streamers would be ecstatic with this kind of audience. I doubt Myth was particularly happy with these numbers, considering that it had been just 1 year since his peak in May 2018, and he'd managed to lose almost 90% of his audience. Things were changing in all aspects of Myth's life.
I would
Around
have
this
to
time-
imagine if you're internet personality with that big of a following, and if you grinded for years to get to that point, then just losing it immediately, I'd have to imagine that's probably a pretty soul crushing
He would
kind of
find
feeling.
himself moving into a brand new TSM Fortnite house. And whilst you would expect this to be a positive change, allowing Myth to freshen up his content, there was a big problem. His iconic teammates and fan favourites, Daquan and Hamlins, were nowhere to be seen. It would seem the good old days were over, and whilst Myth was still playing Fortnite regularly on stream, if there was any doubt left he wasn't an elite player anymore, it was completely gone. Proven when Myth would have a 1v1 battle with an emerging 14-year-old pro player, Clix, and let's just say Myth got absolutely destroyed. But despite Myth's obvious decline in skill, he managed to maintain his 5,000 average viewers on Twitch, and was still gaining tens of thousands of followers per month. People probably weren't watching him anymore for his gameplay ability. It was obvious he was no longer the best in the game, so boasting those kind of numbers from personality is massively impressive. Whilst
That is
maintaining
true.
his audience was good
I have to
news,
agree.
Myth hadn't seen any considerable upwards growth to his Twitch audience since bursting onto the scene in 2018, and with Fortnite only getting less fresh and less popular, maybe playing just that on stream wasn't such a good idea anymore. And with that said, Myth would start mixing in other games alongside Fortnite on his streams, and it was working, as Myth would finally see positive growth to his Twitch, ending the year of 2019 with an average of 8,000 viewers.
Not bad
Despite
at
the
all.
growth, it still seemed unlikely that Myth could ever get back to the level of viewership and status that he once held during his peak. But that was until April 2020, when Myth would take a huge risk, and for the entire month would barely play Fortnite, streaming the game just 5 times for the entire month, instead focusing himself on a new game, Valorant. And Myth pushing Fortnite aside for Valorant will prove to pay off nicely, and his viewers would rapidly rise 5x from the previous month.
Damn,
seeing
that's
him average
awesome.
32,000 live concurrent viewers in April, alongside
Okay,
gaining
so hold on. Okay,
600
so hold on. Maybe this video has a happy ending. Okay, maybe the title of this video is a little deceiving. Okay.
100,000 new followers. It would seem Myth didn't need to stick to just Fortnite after all. It had been almost 2 years since he held this kind of viewership, and with Fortnite declining in popularity, maybe Valorant was the new goldmine. But unfortunately, the following month would see Myth's average viewers fall back down to 9,000, similar to his previous average from months past. However, there were huge positives to be taken from this. Myth had barely played Fortnite since the release of Valorant's beta, and interestingly, even after the initial burst of hype of Valorant's release, he was still averaging the same, if not more viewers than he was getting a couple months prior when he was mainly streaming Fortnite. Around this time, Myth would release a video titled The Current State of Fortnite, hinting at how disappointed he'd become with the game as of recent. And for the next 3 months,
Yeah, he wasn't the
Myth
only
continued
one. I think most
playing
people
Valorant.
were pretty disappointed with what Fortnite became past 2019, including myself.
And rarely streaming Fortnite. Maybe Myth didn't need Fortnite anymore, and his statistics were backing that statement. On the 22nd of July, he would stream Fortnite, 9,000 max viewers. The next day he would stream Valorant, 23,000 max viewers. Myth no longer enjoyed the game, and he didn't need to force himself to play it to maintain the success of his career. And for the next half a year, his viewers were holding strong without it. Myth would play a variety of games, and instead of falling off, he actually would start growing. Jumping on the trend of Fall Guys, Among Us.
Yeah, there was a bunch of big games. There was a bunch of big games like 2020 during that quarantine era. Yeah, there was Fall Guys and Among Us, and I mean there was that Minecraft explosion that happened. I don't know if Myth personally
Eventually
partook in that.
Rust would prove to be a great choice for Myth, and he would consistently see upwards growth until January 2021, when he would average 21,000 live viewers for the month. With a handful of particularly successful Rust streams, 8th of January, 71,000 max viewers, 9th of January, 74,000. Myth had now reached absurdly high levels of viewership on 3 different games, in 3 different years. This is not normal. Myth was living the dream. He could play seemingly whatever game he pleased, while still being one of the biggest streamers in the world, and was now blowing up again. maybe Exility was wrong after all. Maybe Myth did make the right choice to pursue variety content.
I mean, personally, variety content is something I've always tried to do. It's just it's a very hard thing to get off the ground. And usually what happens is, one thing starts to take off, and then you just focus on that one thing. And then you try to do something else, and you're like, okay, no one's watching this. Which is why I took a part in a duo channel, Break Time, which you should check the description, check that out, where we do variety gaming content. It's just obviously, it's not easy to get off the ground, but, if you start doing that from the beginning, I think it's probably a lot more plausible, because at least then your viewers know, like, okay, this person does a variety of things, and, that's what I should expect. I should never expect just one specific thing. And I think if you tell your viewers that from the beginning, then, the fall off won't be as steep if you do decide to dabble in different things that maybe aren't what you're known for.
In fact, it seems Myth's choice to play other games on stream than Fortnite was actually beneficial to him, not detrimental. Myth had proven the doubters wrong, but things can change fast in this industry, and the following month would see Myth's average viewers rapidly fall from 21,000 to 6,000. Almost in the past.
Wow, that's like a really. So you
21,000
gained 168k followers and then only gained 6,000 followers. Wow.
to 6,000. And whilst in the past, Myth would bounce back from moments like this, unfortunately, this time would prove to be the beginning of a consistent decline in viewership that would continue from here onwards.
That's too bad.
Around this time, Myth would start to see his subscriber count on YouTube begin to rapidly fall, losing over 10,000 subscribers in most months. The same would happen with his Twitter, also bleeding thousands of followers. And on Instagram, he had lost around 50,000 followers every single month of 2021 so far. His YouTube content had become more and more varied, and he was now struggling to reach 20,000 views on videos. Even the fan-favorite vlogs, which used to frequently attract millions of viewers, seemed to have lost their audience. But did Myth actually care? Maybe not. He clearly enjoyed being a variety creator, and of course, with masses of wealth, he didn't need to be concerned by the numbers. And ultimately, Myth was a Twitch streamer. That's what really mattered, and he was still gaining new followers in almost every stream. However, 8 months later, in October 2021, Myth's average viewers per stream had now fallen to 3,000, the lowest since the early days of Fortnite.
Still an incredible amount of people.
Despite a consistent decrease in average viewers, Myth would still have the occasional huge stream. One day he could be streaming to 2,600 max viewers, the next day 105,000. It's safe to say his viewership was very sporadic at this time. Things weren't exactly looking promising, with Myth having a wildly inconsistent audience, heavily varied content, and a stream that would continue to stagnate for the following months. It would seem that Myth was slowly falling to obscurity, and wouldn't be making any headlines.
Apex, I forgot about Apex.
Ads are like
I
the
don't know why,
termites of the internet. Lucky for you.
During that BR splash, Apex just seems to escape my mind, even though I believe it is one of the bigger ones to this day.
By 2022, when Myth would make a decision that would drastically change the future of his career as a streamer, signing a deal with YouTube that would see him streaming exclusively on their platform with YouTube Gaming, thus abandoning his Twitch channel. Myth had made arguably the most important decision a big streamer will ever make in regards to their career: stay on Twitch or sign to a competitor on a lucrative exclusivity deal. And Myth had chosen YouTube Gaming over Twitch.
I mean, I would say YouTube is probably the better decision between, well, the other options, which would have been Twitch or Facebook, or I guess there was like Kick, but I don't think anybody really wants to
The
be on
announcement
Kick.
would generate massive buzz on Twitter, with over 120,000 likes on his announcement tweet. News of the announcement would make its way to Reddit, and viewers were quick to give their opinions. Good move for him. Chance at a fresh start as his viewership has stagnated. Even if it doesn't work out, still gets a large amount of money.
Exactly.
Bag secured.
There's not really a downfall to it.
Streaming isn't for him anymore. It's interesting to see YouTube signing Myth. His stream is not what it used to be numbers-wise. He went from 7 to 8K average viewers to 3K in the last months. Seemed like his Twitch career was dying, so good move. Myth is a much bigger brand name than his actual views. He averages around 3K the last 3 months on Twitch, so Twitch has no reason to pay him big for exclusivity when there are thousands of streamers who bring more people to the platform. And for YouTube, he's a brand name people like/know, even if they don't watch him. Win-win for everyone. Despite Myth's consistent decline in viewership and followers on his various social medias, he had managed to secure the bag yet again. Whilst I can't find exactly how much this deal was worth, it's common knowledge in the industry how lucrative these exclusive streamer deals are, and it was very likely that Myth was walking away with his pockets multiple millions of dollars, if not tens of millions of dollars heavier.
That was probably a $10 million
But whilst the money was
easy.
going to be huge, there's always a catch. And it was no secret that moving from Twitch to YouTube gaming was a challenge. Despite its many flaws, Twitch was undeniably the home of live streaming, and around this time boasted a 75.6% of all live stream viewership online. Twitch's live viewers dwarfed that of YouTube gaming's.
YouTube's gotten a little better with the streaming audience now, hasn't it?
Big Twitch streamers would move from Twitch to YouTube. They would often see a considerable dip in viewers, and well, as you would expect, that happened. After an initial spark of interest, Myth would quickly fall from the spotlight, and less than a month after signing to YouTube, he would upload a video titled, "This is Why I Fell Off," detailing the downfall of his career from his own perspective.
And I wanted to talk about what happened to my career. This is like a question that I get a lot. It's like, yeah, what happened, Myth? Why do you have this many viewers at this point? At this point? What is going on? This is the Fortnite era. This is our peak. We come down. Genuinely, I think the main contributors to this were me not being able to keep up, hold that position as being a Fortnite guy and being like successful and competitive. As you guys know, like I got a pretty laughable competitive history in Fortnite. I didn't do well. And there are a lot of things that have to do with that. You know, one of them being I was young, man. I was 18 when all this was going on. I was super young, 18 or 19. And I was arrogant, you know, I got cocky, I had all this success, and I was like, I'm the man, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing it my way. But when that happens, if you're in a position where like, you're just an arrogant ass teenager, and you're getting all this success, it's gonna be easy for that success to slip out of your hands, I feel like, if you're not genuinely looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, hey, how could I improve? Who should I be listening to? How could I get help to keep this going? And that's kind of who I was. That's like a personality flaw in me though. I never wanted help. I never wanted to have to rely on somebody else for the answers. I genuinely think if I was a little bit less arrogant, was more accepting to help, I probably would have not had this decline that we see here throughout, you know, August, September, into early 2019. But with that being the case, we had a decline in viewership. It happened. I had a really rough time dealing with, you know, the public words and public perspective, and being someone in this industry. You know, at the caliber that I was, there are a lot of people that have their opinions, and as much as you try to not let it get to you, it got to me, man. There are a lot of moments where I would be sitting, staring at the go live button, and I would just cry. I would really break down. Because I knew that right as soon as I go live, I was going to get it on. I was going to be told to myself. I was going to be told that I'm worthless and that I should quit. I'm still greatly appreciative to the success that I had and the success that I still have. Without my past, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, and I genuinely think going through the highs and the lows genuinely made me a better person at the end of the day. Having everything and then getting it taken away from you, or not taken away from you, but like you losing it at your own hand is such a humbling experience, and I am kind of happy that it happened. That was our past, but now we're here, and I'm done looking at the past. Moving over to YouTube is something that happened recently. That entire transition for me honestly feels like I'm hitting a reset button. I've had all this success and everything, but now I get to really work from the ground up and rebuild the community that I feel like I never got the opportunity to build. A lot of the people that watch me for Fortnite, and maybe you're someone that was there in the past, watched me because I was the Fortnite guy. I was crazy, I was cracked at the game, or whatever. But a lot of people then didn't necessarily watch me for who I was or were there long enough to learn about who I was.
Viewers were quick to show their support and appreciation for Myth in the comments of this video. This is a really mature video. I can't imagine how painful it would be to do an introspective like this. Hope you have
Exactly,
a great success
yeah.
in the future.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, bro, like, extremely humble, makes a video detailing his own decline. I mean, that's really respectable.
Wasn't so bad after all. And well, Myth had achieved most creators' dreams. With his spell as one of the biggest streamers in the world and his lucrative YouTube deal, Myth could stream without the pressure of money playing on his mind constantly. He could do whatever he wanted with his content, which leads us to December 2022, when Myth would have his debut as an influencer boxer, taking part in Ludwig's highly anticipated Mogul Chess Boxing Championship. The event was held in front of a live audience of 10,000 fans, with more than 500,000 people watching at home. The stakes were high, and with past memories of Las Vegas 2018, with viewers claiming Myth couldn't take the pressure, he had a lot to prove. And well, he was brilliant. Myth would defeat his opponent, and viewers were heaping praise towards him. Great fight, Myth was a beast. Myth was an absolute tank. I was proud of Myth and I hope he continues his boxing career. Perhaps boxing
I didn't even know
was the
Myth
new way
did
forward
do
for
boxing.
Myth. After all, there's huge money and viewership in the business, and judging from his debut, Myth looked like he could be one of the best influencer boxers around if he put the work in. Eventually he would return home and react to his boxing match in a video that would vastly outperform his other content, but then the dust would settle, and it was back to gaming.
Oh, another ad.
Or was it? On March 9, 2023, Myth would upload a much different video than usual, titled, I Figured It Out, where he would express his desire to take his content in a new direction moving forward.
For a long time, I didn't know what type of content I wanted to make after Fortnite and after Valorant. I want to move to do something that makes me a little bit more happy. I've come to the conclusion that I want to help the future creators of the world have the knowledge that I have. Throughout the next few months or so, you guys will start seeing some content uploaded to the channel that's just me sitting down, dissecting and going over certain topics that will help you in your journey as a creator.
The video following this lived up to Myth's statements of intent for change, and instead of his usual gaming content, it was much more serious and mature, where Myth would sit down and talk to the camera for 10 minutes, giving tips on what he feels upcoming creators need to succeed in the current landscape of content creation. It would seem Myth was about to head down an entirely new path of his content.
Okay.
But that wasn't the case.
Oh.
Following his advice video, Myth would revert back to his old ways, and continue to post more gaming highlights and vlogs. Viewership remained sporadic. One video would hit 100k views, the next would barely break 10k. But that wouldn't stop Myth, and he would continue to upload and stream frequently. However, despite his consistency, his views continued to fall further and further, and his YouTube channel wouldn't see a single month of growth since streaming full-time on the platform for over a year. In fact, he was often losing tens of thousands of subscribers. Which brings us to October 2023, when Myth's viewership would reach all-time lows. By this point, Myth's YouTube uploads were struggling to reach even 5,000 views. Numbers perhaps hard to fathom, considering Myth had 4.4 million subscribers and used to average over 1 million views per video. But surely his streams were doing better, right? Well, not exactly. By this point, Myth could often be seen streaming to an audience of under 100 people, with his chat essentially at a standstill and restricted to members only. Things had changed. A lot. Sure, YouTube had a smaller audience of live viewers than Twitch, so lower views were to be expected, but this was a far fall from the 3,000 viewers Myth was averaging before leaving Twitch. At this point, old viewers of Myth may have stumbled across his channel, seeing him live to under 100 viewers, and wondered, what happened? 5 years ago, Myth was the second biggest streamer in the world, the leader of the TSM Fortnite team, gaining hundreds of thousands of followers per month on Twitch, and at one point could be seen streaming to 165,000 live viewers. How could Myth go from such heights to streaming to such a small amount of people? It seemed Myth had checked out of the streaming game. He was playing what he wanted, and clearly wasn't optimizing his stream for growth. Surely it was only a matter of time before Myth's viewership would fall to zero. Well, that certainly wasn't the case, as on October 27th, Fortnite would make a huge announcement, revealing that the game would be going back to its original roots, rolling back the clock to 2018,
this was fucking
with the release
huge.
of Fortnite OG, scheduled for the 3rd of November. And Myth was ready for the nostalgia hit, and on release day, would stream the game to his audience. And of course, with Myth being one of the most iconic players of the early days of Fortnite, Myth's viewership would skyrocket, and he could be seen streaming to at least 3,000 live viewers, with his chat opened back up to the general audience. Alongside this, Myth's first upload on Fortnite OG would quickly amass over 400,000 views, and his channel would finally see positive growth, with him gaining over 20,000 subscribers in just 2 weeks. But Myth didn't indulge himself in the numbers, and whilst he could have dedicated himself to Fortnite OG and continued inflating his audience, Myth would quickly push the game aside and play the new Call of Duty release on stream, and his viewership would quickly come falling down once again. And it would seem this growth would be short-lived, and he was happy to go back to playing a variety of games that he enjoys, even if it meant his viewership
I respect
would likely
that.
suffer. But even if Myth's viewers were to fall to zero in the coming months, it's important to remember this. Objectively, Myth is one of the greatest streamers of all time. In all of streaming history, there's very few people who have ever streamed to the size of audiences that Myth has, or generated the amount of wealth that he has in this industry. From riding the unprecedented hype train of Fortnite, Myth was always going to be fighting an uphill battle, maintaining his success. After all, where else is there to go when you're this far at the top? And while Myth could have played it safe and continued to play Fortnite for the rest of his streaming career, holding a more consistent audience, he stayed true to himself and his aspirations of being a variety streamer, despite the risks. Also, I'm sure there may be times when Myth finds himself looking over to his second monitor, looking at the number of viewers watching, wondering how things changed so dramatically from those years ago. At the end of the day, I'm sure Myth laughs it off, sits back, and remembers just how much he's achieved.
Not to mention, I mean, bro's
Even if
chilling,
his
man. He's not gonna have to worry about money ever again.
He'd still be one of the highest paid streamers in the world, thanks to
Which
his
honestly, I
YouTube
feel like
channel.
that's the way to do it. Is you just like, you make your millions, and then you just kind of do what you want, and just if people like you for you, then you'll retain some viewership, and that's all you really need.
Right. Myth came, he saw, he conquered, and he secured the bag.
I had a lot of great times with this game, but man, I had a lot of dark times when it came to being in this industry and playing this game, bro, that I just don't even like thinking about. Really it makes me fucking sad, bro. And like the main thing is like sometimes I get mad about it because I'm like, damn, bro, what should have been the greatest time of my life is unfortunately clouded with these dark memories. Like this real depression that I had over this game. And the only reality of it is, you know, I just had to be stronger as a young dude, you know, because the world isn't going to get softer for you. But obviously, that's an unfair thing to ask an 18-year-old, you know. But there's a lot of learning, and I've learned a lot of great life lessons through this game. And I'm grateful for every trial and tribulation that I've gone through. Wouldn't change anything if I had to go back. Just telling you guys that, like, man, my fucking chest heavy. It's just memories. That's all. I'm in a great place right now. I'm glad I got to express that to you guys right now, because I don't think I've ever had an opportunity to express that the way that I've wanted to before. I don't wish for anything to be different. Unless we get at hiding your emotions to those fans we never knew. I mean, listen, back then, I don't think anybody would have cared. That's the truth. That's what I told myself. At the end of the day, I was here. This is where I was. What mattered back then was winning. That was it. Was being the best. And right as soon as I wasn't the absolute best, or arguably the best, it switched up. So then, imagine if I would have came out and started talking about my emotions while people are already dogging me. Nah, bro. That's just,
He makes a
you're
fair
asking
point.
to get kicked while you're down, I think. So like I said, I wouldn't change anything. If you want to know what means a lot more to me, you know, it's so full circle, man. I don't even know how many people we got watching right now, but I think it means a lot more telling it to you guys that are here right now, whatever amount of people that is, than it would have been to tell 20, 30,000 people that. Because now I know you guys are really listening. So God bless y'all, man. Thank you for being here.
I think tonight the one guy everybody's been waiting to see play is TSM Myth over here. Can
I gotta
hear
say,
how
I mean,
many
I
of you
never-
guys are here waiting for Myth.
I never
to
had
do
any problems with Myth, but I think after this video, my perspective on him has definitely changed. Definitely respect him as an individual. way more. For
Combination
sure.
tonight.
Do we have any Myth fans in the house?
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Yeah!
GG, bro. Oh, you had me there. I took my shot.
He kept building up and building up and building up, and I couldn't catch him.
And that is the video. Like I said before, make sure you go check out their channel and video down below. And if you guys want to see any more reaction content like this, leave a like, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.